it's me, Molly Cox with SA 2020, and I'm on the set of Mamma Mia at the Public Theater of San Antonio with my pal Troy Peters from YOSA. Hi.
Hi, Molly.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be here.
This is my official run at Oprah's job.
It's going well so far.
Yeah, I mean, ish. You know.
Okay.
I mean, ish. I don't have Oprah money, is what I'm saying. Speaking of Oprah money, I'm not. I want to talk about YOSA. I want to know what it is. I know what it is, but they don't necessarily. What is YOSA? What does it stand for? What do you do? Who are you? Tell me all about it.
So YOSA changes kids' lives through music. We have 9 different orchestras with 500 kids in them. And YOSA is Youth Orchestras of San Antonio. But it's not just orchestras.
Okay.
So we have a flute choir, we have a concert band, we have string orchestras, we have full orchestras, and 500 kids from 3rd grade all the way up through early college. And then we do a summer camp every year. We have programs in schools that are about access and inclusion and trying to help kids who haven't thought about going to the next level get the chance to join a group like YOSA.
So you start as early as 3rd grade?
We do. We have some, we have everything from Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star up
Okay.
through, Tchaikovsky symphonies.
Now, I think when you talk about youth and orchestras and like there's a flute, choir and there's violins involved, I think sometimes, right, people get thrown by, I don't know if I want to come see some kid concert, right? That's not what this is.
Right. So I'll be honest with you. Like, we have some kids who are playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Of course.
And so when you go hear those kids, they're adorable and they sound like little kids.
Of course.
But because we have 9 levels, our top level kids are these are pre-professional musicians. They're the best high school and college musicians in the area. And so you're hearing something that for most listeners sounds every bit as good as a professional orchestra. And they don't just play classical music. They play all kinds of styles.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, because you introduced something a few years ago that I think really sort of blew the roof off of the Tobin Center and let people see what it meant to come and listen to something that wasn't like Twinkle Twinkle on a violin, right? How did that get started, and why did it get started, I guess is the question.
So we do this series called Classic Albums Live.
Okay.
And there are a whole bunch of reasons that we did this, but the bottom line is we've got 12 San Antonio bands, rock bands, mariachi groups, country bands, everything in between. And we're covering a classic album with a full symphony orchestra backing them up. So we've done Prince's Purple Rain, we've done the Eagles' Hotel California, we've done the Beatles' Abbey Road. We opened it up, the very first one we did was Radiohead, OK Computer. And on each one of these shows, each song is played by a different local band with the full orchestra behind them. I do all the orchestrations, and my goal is to highlight the orchestra, but also to reinvent the songs in a way that's really exciting for the audience.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. You've already told me, just so you know, I actually know what the next show is going to be, but you're not allowed to know yet. You already have it set up. You're ready to go for the next one.
Right, we'll do another one in March 2019, and we're going to be announcing that in August.
Okay.
And I think it's something people are going to be really excited about.
Yeah, yes, I think so. Let's talk a little bit about like how somebody might get involved. Not just like a student who wants to learn how to play, but like I'm a volunteer, or I want to donate, or I'm a parent with a kid. Talk to us about that.
Well, like everybody, we've got a website.
Okay.
YOSA.org is our website.
Watch, this is how fun it'll appear right here, right there.
We've got a Facebook page, so you can follow YOSA on Facebook. You can follow YOSA on Twitter. We've even got Instagram.
Look at you.
But Facebook is kind of an easy place to get a sense of what's going on with the upcoming events.
Okay.
We do auditions every year in June for kids who want to get involved.
Okay.
But I would invite people to come and check out what we do. We do everything from big classical concerts at the very highest level to performances side by side with the San Antonio Symphony, which is really exciting. These rock shows, the Classic Albums Live series. And then we have concerts that feature our younger musicians. It's really inspiring for young kids to go and see their peers playing and working together in a group and doing amazing things.
So I don't want to wait until March 2019 to come see this amazing thing that you're not allowed to mention yet. What's the next concert or event that I could come to?
So our next big show is at the end of October, in October 2019. And actually this coming year, October 2018,
Okay.
this coming year is my 10th year at YOSA. And so We're going to be kind of celebrating that, frankly, for me, by me playing some of my favorite music. And what that meant this fall is I wanted to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Leonard Bernstein's birth.
Amazing.
And so appropriately here on this theatrical stage, we're going to be doing the symphonic dances from West Side Story. Not only a great show, right? A great Broadway musical, a great movie, but there's this amazing orchestral piece of the dance music from West Side Story. And that'll be the centerpiece of a program that's kind of about music about New York City in October.
I want to hear, I get it, you're the musical director, so obviously you're kind of passionate about music. YOSA changes kids' lives through music. And I think we get into a space of people really pushing sort of like STEM / aerospace, engineering, et cetera, which is very important. I'm not discounting that. But there's something about music, and when you say it changes kids' lives, I want you to like unpack that for us.
You know, what it's really about for me is a sense of enlarged potential. So like, I think most of us who achieve things later in life have some experience in adolescence where we get a sense of like, oh my God, that was amazing. Like this Little League event, this school play, this church youth group, this Boy Scout adventure, this craft project, this quilting thing I did with my grandma. There's something where we go, oh my God, this is who I am. Well, for musicians who are in YOSA, they don't necessarily discover they want to be musicians. In fact, 2/3 of our musicians won't pursue music as a career. But what they do is they get a chance to go on stage at the Tobin Center with 1,000 people in the audience and 100 people on stage. And they make magic happen in that setting. And they then have a bigger sense of what's possible when they work their butts off with a bunch of other people. We just played in Spain in June, and we took a bunch of our musicians and played a concert in Seville, where we were in this 1,000-year-old church in front of hundreds of screaming fans when we played Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. And you know, when you grow up on the west side of San Antonio and all of a sudden you find yourself playing Gershwin in Spain in front of just this incredibly enthusiastic crowd, it changes who you are. And no matter what you do with your life, you have a sense, I'm capable of something. I'm capable of things. Your
programs are all over the city of San Antonio? Because it's inside schools and it's also outside of schools, correct?
Right. The core of YOSA's activities are orchestras that meet weekly outside of schools, but we have a bunch of school partnerships where we try and strengthen school music programs because we're in this symbiotic relationship where like we could not exist if there weren't great bands and great orchestras in the public schools here in San Antonio. We're fortunate that there are. And so we want to do everything we can to support those programs so that their leaders can also be a part of YOSA as they grow up.
Amazing. Were you also did you start playing music when you were little?
I started in 4th grade in a public school program in Tacoma, Washington. Then I got involved in a youth orchestra when I was in about 7th grade. And honestly, I didn't get serious about classical music until high school. But all of those experiences, I had a good time. And then as I got older, I got more and more into like, this is pretty amazing. But I didn't really decide to become a musician until I was 17, after having just the tremendous experience of those kind of life-changing teenager experiences of just what it felt like to play an amazing piece of music in front of a crowd that really got it.
Yeah. I'm mildly partial to your program and organization because I've met several of your musicians who have now graduated and moved on, et cetera, and they are some of the most amazingly creative human beings I've ever met. I'm thinking specifically like of a Darian.
Right, exactly.
Right, like amazing human beings. So I'm like, yes, you change lives, which is awesome.
Well, and it's great because we've got these kids who go out and, Darian is a composer who's living in New York and he's writing classical music and he's writing for his bands. He's in 3 or 4 different bands. And, just this week he was at Princeton doing all this amazing stuff. We also have kids who are, in medical school. We have kids who are attorneys. We have kids who are teachers. They go into all kinds of fields.
Right.
But all of them have this just remarkable sense of the way that the arts can transform a city and make it a better place, which of course is something that happens here at the Public, that we have this vibe of doing something that's going to make San Antonio a better place.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're not going to get me to say like, no, the arts are not important. No, you're not. What have I missed? What do we need to make sure we tell everybody about YOSA?
I think the bottom line is the thing we said early on, where it's like, you think to yourself, do I really want to go hear kids play music? There's a level of energy and passion coming off the stage when these kids play that will blow people away. And so I would really encourage people, come on out. A lot of times we're at the Tobin Center, but we play lots of other places too. Come out and see these kids in action, and it'll really give you a sense of hope and a sense of joy at what they're capable of.
I love that. All right, if you want to support the arts, obviously you can do that through yosa.org. There's opportunities there. But then secondly, when you buy a ticket at the Public Theater, you can also say, hey, I want to make a donation to YOSA as well. So we're community partners. We're building community. It's the way to do it. Thanks so much for being here on the set of
Mamma Mia.
At my Oprah show. It's not Oprah. All right, thanks.